Are you ready, everybody? It's a Thursday. The siren's going off, the storm surge in the Lenovo Center. It's Thursday, May 21st, 2026. John here with you. It's time for another one of those. Game one, this time in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go over it. So head coach by Marty Stanley are the Montreal Canadiens, 48-24-10. They're 8-6 in the postseason. Both of their series went to 7 in the mix of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Buffalo Sabres. Their lineup sounds like this today. Nick Suzuki, Caufield, Juraj, Slafkovsky, Mike Matheson, Alex Carrier. Jake Evans, Alex Newhook, Ivan Demidov, with Lane Hutson and Noah Dobson. Philip Danault, Alex Texier, Josh Anderson, Oliver Kapanen, Zach Bolduc, and Josh Anderson with Caden Gooley and Jaden Struble. Maybe no Arbor Jack guy. We'll see. Jakub Dobish will be the goaltender of record. And for the Carolina Hurricanes, head coach by Brind'Amour, Rod the Bod, as he's affectionately called, they've been off for almost 2 weeks. It's been 12 days. 53-22-7, 8-0 so far in this postseason. They have swept the Sens and the Flyers. You can make the argument that their level of competition hasn't been very high. But if you also get through this series 12-0, let's say you sweep the Canadiens, who have been beating teams left and right that should probably have taken their spot, then I don't think there's anything more you can say. No, the Carolina Hurricanes will not go 16-0 and win the Stanley Cup, but they have a chance to at least get to 10, and they're expected to do some damage tonight on home ice because it's been a while. For Carolina, and Sebastian, Andrei, Svechnikov, Seth, Jarvis, with Jacob Slavin and Jalen Chatfield, Logan Stankoven, Taylor Hall, Jackson Blake. That second line has been dominant. 7 goals in 8 games for Stankoven in the postseason, and Taylor Hall is the leading point getter. Keandre Miller, Sean Walker will be the second pairing defense. Jordan Staal, Nick Ehlers, Jordan Martinook. You got Nick Ehlers in the third line, you got a good one. Mark Jankowski will carry Eric Robinson with Ghost, Shayne Gostisbehere, and Alexander Nikishin. Freddie Anderson is 8-0 in this postseason. 112 goals against, 950 save percentage, and a pair of shutouts. Brandon Busty is healthy. Carolina is very healthy considering the amount of days that they've had off, but he has not played yet. So you're going to have to let me know what you think of this series. I put this in the YouTube box. Do you think Carolina sweeps? Do you think it's going to be a competitive series, at least going to 6 games? Do you think it's 7 games? Either way, I don't care what team you pick. Or do you think Montreal wins this series outright? Because I've said it to you guys. I'm taking Montreal to win this game tonight. I would not be surprised if Montreal wins this series. I would like to see them go to the Stanley Cup final. Hell, I'll put my hand in the air. If we're going to have one upset, I'll still take the Avs to make it to the finals and win the cup, but I'll take Montreal to get there. If you're going to give me an upset, I'm going to take Montreal. And for Carolina, I'm afraid for them only in the sense of this. If they win the Stanley Cup, they'll say, well, it's about damn time because you made the Eastern Conference Finals in 3 of 4 years, right? So I don't think it's going to be a thankless job. If they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, they'll say it's about time. And if they win it, they'll say it's about time. So I really don't think that Carolina is going to have any just desserts. When it comes to everything, the only time that would happen is actually lifting the cup, in my opinion. For Montreal, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. And I would agree with Paul Bissonnette in the sense of one thing. In the first 5 minutes, yeah, you need to survive. Because Carolina, they might be a little bit rusty, but they should be raring to go. It's been a while for them. I'm looking forward to this. I'll see you after the anthems. We're just going through the anthems here, and then I will go into the play-by-play. Hopefully the brain fog isn't hitting me too hard so far here. Still got to take care of some other stuff in between the intermissions. If it's a solo call, I'll be able to wash some dishes and do some of the other stuff before the missus gets back home. But I want to know in the comments section. I'll try to get a square box and everything else. Some people have been asking. Try to see if I can do that next week. Wednesday and Friday next week, there will be no streams because I got plans across with her and then some house fixing to do on Wednesday. So no Wednesday, Friday streams next week. Maybe try to jam in a Monday, Tuesday, and then see what happens to the rest. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday next week. Wednesday, Friday would mean I think game 3 and 4 would be missed in this series. I'd be more open to cover the Western Conference Finals. But we're really going to have to see what happens today. We'll keep you abreast on the situation in the association as well. New York has the early 5-3 lead on Cleveland as that's already getting underway. So that'll finish before us most likely. The one vote that we got so far, none. Carolina sweeps again 12-0. If they go 12-0, I'm going to be raising my eyebrows a little bit. I don't think Carolina goes 12-0. I think Montreal at least wins a couple games in this series. My vote would be competitive across the board. They played too well in between. Tampa, maybe they got a little lucky with only 9 shots on goal. But they went on the front foot of Buffalo. I would at least think this goes 6. Dobson had said after that series against Buffalo, I could play another 40 games, but you only got to play at least 14 more if they all go 7. And Carolina doesn't want to see that happen because Alex Newhook would then explode. But here's K'Andre Miller. Put this across to the jerseys in black. Carolina, it's certainly been a while for them. It's Taylor Hall off the stick shot. Matheson gets knocked down. It's loose in front of Dobson. A couple of chances and picked up now by Noah Dobson. Like Matheson will get this one up the ice. And that was almost a goal within the first 25 seconds for Carolina. It is so loud, I imagine, that Montreal can't even hear themselves think. K'Andre Miller going to hold this from the high slot. Scores! First shot of the game, 33 seconds in, and Carolina scores the opening goal. 19:27 of the period. Those chances toward the net that got funneled toward Dobson, not going to count, but it's Seth Jarvis who gets first blood. So Seth Jarvis, they needed to get him going. Logan Stankoven is at the 7 of 8. Here's another chance. Oh, and a score! Montreal answers right back inside the first minute. It was loose in the middle of the slot, and Caufield makes it a 1-1 game. So TNT, they're just announcing it on the other side for Lenovo Center. They put the shot in terms of Carolina. It's got to go to 1-1. Caufield, stick shot, beautiful, gets it around Sheffield. Slafkovsky throws it back. Caufield wide open, above the crossbar lift. Slafkovsky, sick pass, and we're tied at uno. 1 minute in, we got 2 goals. We got both those goals typed in. I just want to get back to the play-by-play here. Is Nick Ehlers toward the left side. Here's the long flip. Montreal going to chase it. They're actually going to get there first once Freddie plays it. So, again, you can talk about that 8-0 for Freddie Anderson. 1-12, 9-50, 2 shutouts. It's already hurt in 1 shot, 1 goal against. Carolina's got 3. So they finally did credit Dobson with those 2 opening saves. Here's Kirby Dach up the middle. Breakaway! Here for Bolduc, and that was saved by Anderson. Rebound opportunity. Anderson got that too. This is Montreal now, shot out of a cannon after Carolina scored in the first 25 seconds. And this will be knocked away. Ehlers try to get this one in for Keandre Miller off the drop pass. And this will be sent in. Matheson takes a big hit on the inboards here as Demidov gets his pass intercepted. And the jerseys in black in the mix of the red can go right to left. And now they'll just take their change. 3 shots apiece on the board. This is an electric start between these two. It's a 1-1 game. You got goals from Seth, Jarvis, and Caufield. Svechnikov and Aho pick up the secondary, and Slafkovsky and Suzuki do the same as this falls back. The Dobson will hold it with the glove hand. Montreal got it now across the Canes logo. This will be looped in. Jake Evans not going to be able to get there. Freddie Anderson cut it off. Slavin on the left side wall. Picked up for a moment here. Demidov. He sets it up across the slap shot, and Jake Evans gets all tied up in front of the net. Otherwise, he gets a tap in. That was good defense there for Carolina. It would have been 2-1 Montreal, but this is coughed up by Hull. Jake Evans the other way, a pair of 71s. A lot of holding here right now. Sean Walker takes a cross check from Slafkovsky, not called. Sebastian Aho open across the right wing, but Zep Jarvis can't carry the mail. This is a pinball pass off the inboards. This has been a hellacious start between the two. Montreal has certainly answered that goal within the first 25 seconds from Jarvis as Caufield scores it. Aho leading a 3-on-2, but way off is Brind'Amour's squad. So it's 4-on-4. First couple penalties officially for the recorder here. It's Sean Walker and Nick Suzuki. Interference and an embellishment on Suzuki here as it's 1-1. So what is the 4-on-4 favor? I'd have to think Montreal in terms of their skilled forwards, but we'll see. Carolina, no slouch there either. Picked up on the backhand lane, Hutson. Able to get this one for a break. Scores! Montreal, it's Lane Hutson of Filipino. And now it's a 2-1 lead for the Canadiens. Feels good to call that there. And Montreal is playing some seriously good hockey. And right now, Freddie Andersen in a world of hurt. Again, that save percentage, I say it. And between the Sens and the Flyers, I just didn't think much of Freddie. And that one goes 5. Well, that's picking cherries. And Freddie left it wide open. What an easy play that was. Chance off the side of the net, and Freddie Andersen's getting submerged right now as Dano already back out there. Makes a couple of saves, so 6 shots to 4. It's all Montreal now. After that 25 seconds, Dano chips it in. It is Andersen there, and then Dano near the right side of the post. And if not for Matheson coming in there late and being stonewalled, it'd be 3-1 already for Montreal. Again, I said this. I think they're going to win game 1. You have to at this point because you've been playing. And I really do feel like Montreal's got a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. I had raised my hand in the pregame and said I'm taking them to win this series against Carolina. But they got to take this game 1. Again, you find your feet underneath you if you're Carolina with the 12 days off. You take the rest however you can. But I just can't imagine being at this point to be ready. At 25 seconds, score from Jarvis, then you throw that out the window because Montreal's punching him right in the face right now. As it's sent back in behind the inboards from Dobson. And now the jersey's in black. Lose the puck. Dobson gets this back. Now to Hutson. For the left side, Hutson will crisscross. Little stick check. Gets around Jankowski. That should be a trip, but it's not called. Montreal steals it anyway. Toward the left side of the crease, Dobson still trying to fight for it. He gets knocked down like a bowling pin. And it's sent back around now by Svech. This is a hellacious pressure here for Montreal on this 4-on-4. Svechnikov long shot fought off by the blocker side of Dobson. 14:45 left to go in the first round. They're with you on a solo call. I almost wish it wasn't. I'm going to enjoy this all the way for sure, but it'd be nice to have Cooper Hopkins in here at this point because this game has been awesome. There's Noah Dobson in behind the inboards. I'm sure Alec Knopf is going to be watching this somewhere. Dobson with an outstretched pass. He's settled back down for Alex Newhook. He'll skate to his own end as Montreal Marty St. Louis squad look to get started. It's 2-on-3 though. Here's a long shot in the glove hand of Freddie. He's got it at 14:20, but does not look comfortable just yet. 16 seconds of 4-on-4. So Lane Hutson got around Svechnikov, and then he gets tied up a little bit toward the end with a skate blade. That's why it wasn't called. But Montreal could have already had a couple of power plays. Most assists by defensemen in the single postseason. Lane's got 12. Yes, they've played 16 games, but Larry Robinson 17 at the top of the list. And Lane, I think, could certainly get there by the time that this series is done, as he's still getting some of those camera shots. Jordan Staal, the captaincy for Carolina, trying to win a D-zone draw here. This off the tie-up, picked up now by Jalen Chatfield. Try to get this ahead for Nick Ehlers, the former Winnipeg Jet. Drop for Staal across the left wing. His shot gets blocked aside by the Montreal defense. And here will be a pass for Arbor Jackeye, so he is getting started on the third line. Will be picked up now. Toward the right side, it's Suzuki. Nick Ehlers will get there first, and behind the net, the shot board is 6-5. No stoppage in the action so far in terms of the breathless pace. Jacob Slavin slowly trying to break out of his own end from right to left. That's what Carolina wants to do. Chatfield to get his shots. This will be cleared from about 150 into the trapper of Dobson. It'll be an ozone draw for Carolina.
Percentage on the opposite side of the red line, so there'll be a timeout.
Ozone draw. Miller fires it as Aho tried to pick it up, and it was initially saved by Dobson. Here's Suzuki. He'll back skate it toward the left side, shot up high, hits Anderson. Suzuki tried to stick check in the middle of the slot, but this will go to Carolina. They'll push this up the ice for Seth Jarvis off the chase. Good back check there. Dobson picks it up. This pass initially does not get out, but Suzuki will carry it in and then get stick checked away. Carolina did not carry the line, but the puck got deflected. So we'll stay here and behind Montreal's net. They're in the road whites with the blue pants and the red tops. They'll be going left to right. Long outstretch will touch the blade of Freddie Anderson, so no icing. We're in the Lenovo Center, Eastern Conference Final, Game 1. We covered the Western Conference Final yesterday. Here's a chance. They were looking for Demidov, and now Carolina up the ice, and a back pass. It's a good one. Robinson's chance gets curled toward the net. Jankowski finishes his hit. It's a fourth line that could be bruising here for Rod Brind'Amour's squad. Gostisbehere put it into the corner now. Nice move off the backhand, sent toward the crease. And this will be Carolina. Watch this one go out. Gostisbehere is open. He'll play the pull ball pass. Carolina fans wanted a penalty. They're not going to get one. Shots are already 9-7. So we're at a pace that is crazy considering what we just saw the other day between Vegas and Colorado when that was much more defense. We didn't even get a goal in the first. We got 3 already, not even to the halfway marker. We had 2 goals inside a minute. Alex Texier. That's a good hit across the right side boards. Carolina get one-timer scores! It is Doc and another goal for Montreal. 3-1. Excuse me, that's Texier. Alex Texier, 3-1 as he gets that. So Texier gets the goal. 3 goals on 9 shots. It's a .333 save percentage for Freddie Anderson across the board. And that is starting to really hurt. It's a good forecheck. It's Caden Gooley. Gets this one across Dano. Sets it off for Texier near the right dot. And that is hammered home. Anderson can't slide over. That goes underneath his glove hand. He is getting absolutely shelled right now. And this is what I said. Everybody talk about Freddie Anderson. Conn Smythe this. MVP that. And I know we got all sorts of time left in the game. I'm not trying to talk smack about Freddie, but we've already seen his runs behind the net. This is inexplicably given away by Montreal. So now Carolina down a couple of goals. This is turned over now and through the defensive zone. We get a commercial break. I got to type in all of these goals. Picked up now toward the right side boards. 3-1 Montreal as it's 11:15 left to go in the first. Long outstretched pass will be iced against Carolina. And this crowd is really unruly as this will be a Montreal ozone faceoff. So first 8 starts, he allowed 10 goals. First period, 3 goals allowed. That's Freddie in a nutshell. There's a hit behind the net, and more waiting here from the crowd as this is picked up on the backhand drive toward Dobson. We'll fight it off. And Montreal there to clear it up and throw it down to Jacob Slavin. It's worth noting now at this point, again, we're so early in this game, there was 3 meetings in the regular season between Montreal and Carolina. Montreal won them all. And the last 2 were by a combined score of 8-2 for the Canadiens. So they've really loved this series. They've scored 5, they've scored 7, they went up and down the ice. And Carolina, we can say they've missed some defensive assignments, and Freddie Anderson hasn't played his best, but they're not ready for this pressure right now. Svechnikov, Mr. Dobson, beautiful save. He cut off the lane there off Svechnikov's feet in the middle of the circles. That's outstanding, as that should have easily been a goal, and it's picked up now. Off the outstretch, Aho, 1 touch. Canes get into the zone. Now Jarvis. This is in between the 5-hole of Dobson, and then he gets hit late. Don't like that. And Montreal going to respond, and Dobson does in kind because, as I've said before, we've covered in the series, he's like Billy Smith. He'll slash you right in front. So Jarvis gets the opening goal. Montreal gets 3 more after. 9:38 left to go in the first. It's all Canadiens.
Hi everyone, this is Jay Lasco at Lasco Ford. For over 40 years, my family has been serving Michigan drivers, and we've always said big enough to deal, but small enough to care. At Lasco Ford,
so it's Jarvis from Svech and Aho. Got that down.
And we're proud to have won the prestigious Ford President's Award, recognizing us as one of the top dealerships in the country for customer satisfaction. We've built our reputation on making car buying hassle-free. Whether you shop our showroom right here at Benton at exit 78 on Owen Road, or buy completely online with remote delivery, we make it easy, transparent, and all about you.
Caufield from Slaf and Suzuki.
Come see why so many people choose Lasco Ford. Visit us today in Benton or online at lascoford.com.
Philip Danault has goals in back-to-back games, his second of the playoffs. Alex Carrier's got 1 point. Texier has 1. So Alex Carrier will get the assist from Danault's goal at 4:04. It's way too early to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I can either be an a-hole or whatever you want to throw across. But if Rod Brind'Amour loses again and they lose to Montreal, I don't think he keeps his job. I know it's a really dangerous thing to say considering the consistency in 3 or 4 years in the conference finals, but isn't Carolina only 9-21 in this portion of the bracket? And they need to do better. 9:25 left to go in the first one. The commercial break. I still haven't typed in all the goals yet, as it's Matheson in behind the inboards. Again, game 2 is going to be Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I think that's where we'll be, as it'll be sent across the inboards. It must be 6 p.m. start in terms of the pregame. We'll have to open that up officially for the recorder and let you know, because I think everything is going to be 8 p.m. nonetheless. This will go D to D. And now Gooley. He'll wait. He's got a secondary assist on the latest goal from Alex Texier. Got it in the left dot. New hook. Quickly gets this one up the ice, speed chip and chase. They're going to say that Carolina got there first. That's a little fortunate call as Jake Evans talks with the Zebras to get clarification. So Canadians clear, but the bench wanted the icing there to get this in the ozone. They didn't get it, and they were giving it to the referee. It's picked up now. Evans. It's a beautiful pass, and it's another break. Scores! 4-1 Montreal! Are you kidding me? Where's K'Andre Miller going? The question mark. In Montreal, Ivan Demidov from Newhook and Jake Evans. And there you go, sir. Freddie Anderson on an island. Jake Evans, beautiful back pass. K'Andre Miller went to go chase. He left it all alone against Freddie Anderson. And Demidov dusted that thing off something fierce. And it's 4-1. Again, I hate to say what I say about Carolina, because this is just one game in the series. What a head fake that was from left, right, back to left. It's a 4-1 lead. And now we are going to get some pushing and shoving to the left. Maybe Svechnikov drew one. We'll see if that's the case. But Demidov from Newhook and Evans at 11:32. Where was K'Andre Miller? Because he goes ahead and tries to, I think, pick up a back check toward the right portion of the blue line. He chases. Nobody picks up Demidov, and he scores. So Dano and Caden Goulet, we got that one there. Now we're going to get Demidov in here at 11:32. Man, if you're following along here and you're a Canes fan, are you feeling PTSD? I hate to keep saying it this way. I'm trying to be neutral as I can, but even though I picked the Canadiens, and I'm saying this from a guy that is from great state of Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, but still, this is not fun to watch on repeat for Carolina because, again, you're not playing the Florida Panthers here. This is supposed to be easier. Game one is just game one. You can say the same thing as I said the other day. Colorado, they're going to have their antennas up because of what happened against Vegas, but certainly now Carolina's got to play much better. They've been awful defensively in this period. There really is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to get a power play. This is a must score. Alexander Carey, high stick against Svechnikov at 11:39. So Carrier in the box. It's a high stick against Svechnikov. Carolina's got to score here. I'm saying this in the first. The shot board is 10-10. Chance for the left side bumper as we get that goalie cam. Sometimes it gives you that vertigo that I'm still trying to get rid of as it's sent toward the left side boards. Oh, what a huge hit. Pries the puck loose. This will go back to Jarvis. He might be getting an interference call. Sebastian runs over one of the Montreal Canadiens, and I think he did a little too much. He was trying to get that puck, and that's going to take out the power play for Carolina. They only had 27 seconds of time. Brind'Amour looks exacerbated on his face, but Sebastian indeed will go to the box. So I'm going to see here. This goes to the right side of the screen. Jarvis will throw it back, and on the step up, Jake Evans never had the puck yet. That's interference against Sebastian Aho. He tried to make sure to keep in the zone. I know what Aho was doing, but Evans never had the puck. So, man, oh man, this is getting ugly here at the Lenovo Center. Did I picture this? No. I would say the same thing with the score line in terms of the amount of goals when Vegas was up 3-0. And now it's 4-1. It's a 3-goal lead for Montreal. I didn't expect it to be this much of a turn already, but it's 4-on-4. And Montreal's already scored on one of these earlier. Caufield on the right side wing. Can't beat Slavin to the puck, and Jalen Shotfield will get this down. So it'll be an abbreviated power play for Montreal a little bit soon. This is a good skate toward the right side red line, as it is Ehlers with a chance. Will miss the net. Now off the outstretch, this is Montreal again on a 1-on-2. Suzuki will wait for reinforcements. Nice work toward the right side board. So we'll get to the high slot now. Suzuki will spin with Hutson. Hudson's still dancing for the left side blue line. Cross-ice speed. Dobson will settle it down. Montreal with puck possession here. It's Lane. Head fake. Pirouette. Still in the high slot now. Backhand toward the crease. That was a great play there. Trying to set it up for Suzuki as Caufield was doing whatever he wanted. Suzuki steals it near the Carolina bench. This will get sent back down for Lane. Quickly across. It was one single forechecker here for Rod's squad. Picked up now nicely through the toe drag. Split the middle. Gooley will spin. As this be sent back around. New hook doesn't get loose to him. He'll get back smartly on defense. So good all the way across as a two-way forward. Doing blinding speed is New hook. Long shot. Dobson takes a fortuitous bounce. Go to the right side boards here for Carolina. Andrei Miller got to play much better in the next period. This is off the drop. Jarvis, who opened the scoring, but now it's 4-1 Montreal. Here's a wrister. Walker with a chance. He'll be into the trapper of Dobson. 4-on-4 for one more second. And Carolina going to get an abbreviated power play. They're showing Demidov with a huge smile on his face, and Andrei Miller almost threw that iPad down in disgust. He knew he missed an assignment. He's getting crucified on the broadcast. 15 seconds left to go in the power play. This is not being let go by Eddie Olczyk. Right toward the middle of the circles, and this will be intercepted. It will cancel off of a hit. This is sent toward the net by Dobson. Slaf. We'll get to it. Send back around for Suzuki. Suzuki spin near the left side red line. Here's a wrister that'll hit the opposite side of the glass, sent toward Dobson off the left pad of Freddie Anderson. It'll be a Bronx cheer. Here's Sebastian on a 1-on-1. He gets tied up. Beautiful back check defending there as Dobson able to get a steal. Now he'll send this one down the ice. 5:25 left to go in the opening frame. It has been crazy what we've seen so far. Here's a chance off the drop from Robinson. Taylor Hall. This is in the high slot now. Picked up here by Ghost. His shot goes wanting toward the left side red line. First time allowing 4+ goals within 12 minutes of a game at any point. Demidov open, and this can't be slid back door. And that was Oliver Kapanen. We got a correction there for me. Sent the other way now. It's Hall toward the net, and Dobson will hit it off the stick plate and catch it in his glove hand. 4:55. We'll take a break as we're inside the first 5 minutes of the opening frame. 4-1 Montreal. Let's give you the goals here already because it's definitely been enough. $4.55 break with the music copyrights. So hopefully I don't get destroyed there.
Michelin innovates on the road and far beyond by manufacturing aesthetic breakdowns that allow for greater flexibility of movement.
And the opening goal within the first 25 seconds. No power play goals yet.
and makes clothes cleaner, fresher, and brighter. With 6 layers of cleaning power, new Demidov is
Tied at 31 between the Cavs and the Knicks. That was a awful game for the Cavs. Great for the Knicks for that gigantic comeback, but when you have about a 25-point lead with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth, I'm not sure how you would even attempt to blow that game. I think you'd slow the game down a little bit and kind of hold on to the pumpkin, but I guess it didn't work out for the Cavs. It's a shame for me because for the Pistons, I feel like they would have beaten the Knicks, but they would have lost in the finals anyway. At least they know they got moves to make. So here's what we all know. It was 14 games played for Montreal, 2 7-gamers to just 8 for Carolina. The total amount of periods and a lot of mileage tracked is added up for Montreal, but they're ready to go here, and there's no rust, you wouldn't think. You're ready to go to play your game. Carolina is just another opponent. As this one's knocked up into the air, Dobson makes an initial save, and Doc trying to get a stick chopping behind the net. 4:40 up to go in the first. Here's a wraparound. Dobson says no. He's looked very strong. Josh Anderson trying to get a piece of one of the Carolina Hurricanes. After a couple of actual hits, I think that was Eric Robinson. Most days off between rounds. It's been 12 for the Canes in 2026, the same as 1919 for the Canadiens. The Bruins had 10 in 2019 and 10 in 2003 for Anaheim. But this just looks like what we're used to seeing from Carolina in the ECFs. It's just one game in the series, though, so I won't overreact, but I do think Saturday we'll be covering this again. As this will be off the long flip. Settle down there. Josh Anderson and another odd man rush developing here for Montreal. Matheson takes a hip check near the right side boards. This will be held in, and a chance there for Gooley goes up and out of play at 4:16.
Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs are heating up, and now you can trade every game on Caufield for a limited time. Definitely Caufield. NHL, you get $10 when you trade. $10. Caufield.
Shot board is 13-11 for the Canes, but they're down 4-1. It's still 4:16 left to go in the first. John Under with you. It's a solo call from the Lenovo Center. Used to be PNC. Demidov got a goal in this period as well. Jake Evans gets set to take another draw against Jordan Staal of the captaincy. It's a good tie up there for Newhook. It bounces off his skates. And Dobson trying to hold the line, just trying to get his feet underneath him as he was coming back from injury. Looks like he's played better in every game. Dobson near the left side of the glass. It was contested there nicely by Carolina and then picked up beautifully into the neutral zone. It's a one-on-one stick drag, turnaround chance. Demidov trying to make a play, and Evans, he gets brushed against the right side. Here's Demidov, wrister. Let's close the 5-hole for Anderson. Saw it the whole way. He needed to make the save as Newhook was arriving late.
Canadiens are making the right reads in the neutral zone. When Carolina is aggressive, watch how this game develops. In Carolina, 2 guys go to 1. Then it don't. You get a shot on, and nothing happens initially. But when Carolina is in sync, and they're out of sync right now, and it has a lot to do with how the Canadiens are playing. They don't have 2 players on the 1. Or they're there to go against them. Don't watch Slafkovsky, watch my Chatfield. And then they bring up the Suzuki.
Chatfield gets it blocked right out in front. Montreal steals, left side dot, backhand attempt, and Slaf gets sticked away. That was good defense in the backhand, but then he'll come back to steal this Slafkovsky and send it in toward the left side red line. It is Caufield on a chase, but this will be stick chop toward the right side. Aho on a one-on-one tries to dance, he'll miss toward the right post. Slap shot Dobson has that in the trapper. 3:06 left to go in the first, and what I love from the rookie is he's supremely unflappable. Now for Montreal, you have to say this for me as that goes up the top of the crossbar. My goodness. Would have been another goal there for Montreal, but Slafkovsky had a chance in the backhand. Just got sticked away at the last moment, but shot did just hit the bar. But if I am Marty Lee, I am not taking my foot off the gas in this second period because you saw what happened when Montreal scored the first two goals in Game 7 against Buffalo. Yes, they did win that 7-game series, but you have to make sure you don't try to hold the lead too much because right now Carolina looks out of sorts. Yes, they'll get to go in the dressing room and hit a much-needed reset button, hold it down as a 2-on-2. Anderson Texier across, and that pass gets fanned on. I just like to see Montreal still play with that same aggressiveness if they can. Svech now on the left side as it's Hull. He'll send it toward the net. This is deflected. Good stick chop there. Always gets it here for Texier. I'll flip it back down the ice and across the red safely, so no icing. And Walker will have it. 2:25 left to go in the first. John, there with you. Watching this one on TNT. It'll be all the Eastern Conference Finals. Host ESPN gets the West. I don't have access to Sportsnet from where I am. Sent back around the inboards by Dobson. Matheson with him. Matheson blows an edge. Sweep it back around, and Noah hit it off the glass. Robinson steals. This goes into the right side corner here. Montreal expertly gets it out. It's been a lot of that. 1-16, the last 4 conference finals appearances for Carolina. That stretches from 2009, 19, 23, and 25. Their one win was just the year before against the Florida Panthers, but they still lost in 5. It was a 15-game losing streak. Chance of the net lane. Hutson fights it off and then knocked out of the air. No penalty hand. Montreal with it now. Sent back in deep by Hutson. And Anderson chip it off the glass. Nick Ehlers push ahead. Here's Ghost right up the gut on his backhand. Now work his way to the right side. This goes wide of Dobson. All sorts of traffic. That was nicely saved by Dobson. This will be flipped on a one-on-one. And Jake Evans will fight off the contact. Try to get there first. Montreal will. But this is intercepted across the right side glass. Ehlers with the outlet to Jarvis. Jarvis off the drop. Montreal there to stick it away in the middle of the circles, but the job's not done. Backhand, Svech. He fires it wide. 55 seconds. Svechnikov cross ice feed from the right left dot. Evans. He's in a mall phone booth right now. Montreal picks it up. This is a good ending of a couple of minutes here for Carolina. They haven't scored another goal yet. They're still down 3. This is hopped over the blade, and Slafkovsky picks it up. Sharp angle chance. Gets fought off. Suzuki tried to meet it. Sent toward the left side boards here for Jarvis. We'll get it out. Just touches the blade of Matheson. Slows down the vulcanized rubber. Got Dobson with him. He's got a lot of shifts. Avoids a hit. Sends it in. Slafkovsky tipped, but it's still in the zone now. Picked up for Dobson. Thrown in the right corner. Slav on the left dot. This is rolling end over end. Montreal presses nicely. They'll kill some more time. Suzuki trying to find it. He gets it off the blade. Now to the right side. Caufield, fan on his wrister. That will end the first. A lot has happened. Montreal has scored 4 times, 4 unanswered goals after the Jarvis goal in the first 25 seconds. And I am hearing booing from the Canes fans. They come back. There'll be a lot of work to do for Carolina, but we still got 2 more periods at least of regulation. 4-1 after 1. Stats after 1. Shots on goal. 14-13 Carolina. Hits 15-5. That just means Carolina hasn't had the puck very much. Face-offs. Montreal 12-11. Power plays. Both are 0 for 1. And we had a game story already within the first.
Problems go with four. Here's your power play.
I got some dishes to wash really quick before the missus gets back, so I'm going to step aside, but we'll be here for the second frame. All right. Sorry about that, guys. You got to take care of household chores. Knicks and Cavs are at the half, 53-49. New York out in front. The one vote that we have in our question, what are the Canadiens' chances in this series? None. Carolina sweeps again, 12-0. It's not looking good right now for fans of that. Eddie Olczyk, I guess, has the same color suit as Seth Jarvis. I don't really see it. More of a darker blue, more so than a powder blue that they're showing.
So our wedding's in a couple of weeks. I've been thinking things over. I just needed to tell you this face to face.
Don't say it.
You're gonna be eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union because I'm an Air Force veteran. My whole family can join, and you can get a limited 2% cash back with the Cash Rewards Plus card. I know this is a lot.
Wow, all veterans and their families can join Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
To get any job done right, you want tools you're proud of.
And probably in the second intermission, I'll just go grab the mail. So, get all the other stuff done.
Bring your H game. If you dare to be a pizza pro, the new stone-baked pizza mode from Brind'Amour is all you. Second to none for restaurant quality, it's dough to done in 2 minutes. And in the oven that dares to have the most range, it's just 115 plus cooking butters. Like air fry for healthier and crispy, no sweat. And steam bake, so the party spread is on point. When you dare to bring more flavor to the table, dare to expect more from your oven. Brind'Amour.
Go camping, he said. It'll be fun, he said.
So really, the only overtime game that I've called was Game 7 between the Canadiens and Sabres, and that was done in the first 5 minutes. So nothing really too strenuous. Used to over the years, honestly, between Carolina and Florida, we had triple overtime, quadruple overtime. Matthew Tkachuk played the hero in both of those. Just don't feel like we've had any of those type of games yet. I think he had the one right between Vegas and Utah, but other than that, it hasn't been as long. And I think what you can say, and from the regular season, obviously the overtime loss points that Gary Bettman loves so much to keep everybody competitive. You look at the LA Kings in particular, correct? And that was kind of the methodology they used to be able to get themselves into the postseason, but obviously that doesn't come into the fray in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You see more time in the regular season, more teams opting to play at a more of a pace, get stuff done quickly, but in the regular season kind of drag things out, get to that OT loss point. So I think we're more up to seeing the actual standard of what we used to get in the NHL when you're playing in the postseason. Not as much physicality anymore over the last probably 15, 20 years. I think it's getting a little bit less and less, depending on the team styles, of course. But the goal scoring and everything else, the skill and all that stuff is still there. It still feels like NHL hockey, which is a little less physical in the playoffs. But at least from this push from the regular season to that, you're seeing these teams be more proactive, trying to get stuff done quickly and attack on offense, which I like. Am I off base on that?
The official card of the NHL. 4-1 lead for the Montreal Canadiens against Seth for the second period. Kenny Albert and the old Ryan Shayne and a lead with the Dodgers. Talking about Seth Jarvis' suit. Did you guys have a conversation earlier today? It's way more expensive, which I
Getting started here for this second period. Goals this postseason allowed per game, 1.25. Carolina's already allowed 4 in that first frame. What is going to change here? Carolina now will be going left to right with their home blacks, a mix of the red striping. Long shot goes wide of Dobson near the right post. Sent back in behind the inboards now. Dobson and Matheson within that top line, as it is Caufield. Push this one up the ice. Gets sticked away. Carolina, we're going to expect them to play much better in this second period as Taylor Hall goes off sides, but not before the puck goes into the left hand of Dobson, nonetheless, a little play dead at 19:15.
Well, Marty, maybe the first 33 seconds wasn't what you wanted, but now that period for bouncing forward.
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt we really got to our game. I know the first goal is off the face-off.
Marty Stanley was getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond during the intermission. They're 6-2 on the road in the playoffs, and again, you've got to be able to win games on the road. I know different sport, but Kate Cunningham said, it doesn't mean anything if you can't win any games on the road. That's how you get stuff done in the playoffs. You're absolutely correct. You can use that cross-sport analogy beautifully there. That's why Montreal is able to be in the position that they are. Jalen Shotfield will get his shot blocked. Texier push this one up off the long flip. Carolina, nice work off the chip and chase. We collect this up the left side glass. Texier now try to get this in deep. Philip Daniel can't chase it, but there's an immediate steal for Montreal into the neutral zone. 18:50 left to go in the second. Jalen Shotfield gets bumped off the puck. Sent behind the inboard. There's a lot of fans still trying to get to their red seats. Sending behind the right side dot now. Picked up by Dano. He will stick shot to the left side red line, and another reverse hit as Anderson takes a tumble. You have Jakob Dobish getting this one now behind the inboards here for Caden Gooley. Gooley takes a hit, and it looks like Brind'Amour's squad is trying to get more of the physicality involved, as they did throughout the first. They had the hit board lead about 15. Montreal not really one of those teams that wants to do that. They want to play with speed, as Struble gets hit pretty hard and across the inboards. Will be picked up now by Montreal. Good touch pass. Slaf will chase this off the left side off the spin. Sent back around now by the defense. One touch here for Carolina. To the right side red line is Aho. Aho will leave, and off the spin and turn now for Ghost. He activates in deep. Sent back in behind the inboards now. Suzuki getting spun around a little bit, but he'll steal behind his own net. Good work as this is knocked up into the air. Lane Hutson, he's open across the right wing side. The back pass attempt from Slaf. It'll touch Lane Hutson. Now it's another break for Montreal off the outside of the post and goes out. That was Cole Caufield. Now we go the other way. Scores! Carolina answers. Caufield hits the post, but Carolina doesn't. They find pay dirt. 17-14 in the second. This has been absolute insanity, and it's a goal for Robinson, of all people. And on the rush, Eric Robinson, this goes and off the inside of the post for Caufield, and then Robinson on the counter. He gets a one-on-one, and he just blows it short side past the left post of Dobish. If you had him on your bingo card, another one of those, I can say happy birthday. He lifts it. It goes off the top of the left post, bar down and in, and Eric Robinson makes it 4-2. So that's a huge goal, as Caufield just missed making it 5-1. It's a 4-2 slant. Carolina still has work to do, but they're getting themselves back in this game with that one. Dobson from Matheson. Push this one up the ice. Another good stick. Knock that away. It's Freddie Anderson. Chip it off the glass. Again, Brandon Busty has not played in the playoffs. He is healthy. So it'll be interesting to see if Carolina does drop this game, if they go to Brandon in game 2. Long out stretch. Will get picked up here. And this will be taken away. Good reverse hit And it's now high slot. Bolduc wrister gets deflected. Back to the point now for Montreal. And a stick will push this one away. Good work there for Caden Gooley. Slow it down for Kirby Doc. Send this one in now to Freddie Anderson toward the right side red line. Outstretched feet. Started again one more time for Carolina. That's Shayne Gostisbehere. Goes all the way down deep for Jakub Dobeš. Dobeš's pass. Connect across the middle here. Demidov will race it up. Will Carrier will get the primary off the long stretch. As the Let's Go Canes chants, we're getting settled up at octave. And alongside that breakaway goal, essentially a one-on-one. Here's a good pass. Picked up here for Taylor Hall. Dobeš will get a piece of it. Settle back down now. As Gooley has some work to do behind his own net, but Dobeš help him up. Will hold 15:44 as the crowd rises to their feet. It's funny how one goal can change the tenor inside the building. They've got this crowd back into it. Carolina, Sean Walker carries it inside the zone as it's picked up now to the left side bumper. Recollected on the backhand. Noah Dobson takes a hit to make a play. Settle back down now for Lane Hutson. They'll activate. Got Dano to his left. Lane's still with it. Carried it in too deep. Dano does get a stick chop. Take this away from Aho. Send in the corner. On the right side, Dano might be able to get a backhand stick on this, and this will go to Lane. Forwards will take a change for Marty St. Louis squad, and Carolina has iced it with Keandre Miller at 14:38. Dobeš 15 saves on 17 shots. He's been pretty good. Freddie Anderson has surrendered 4. He's just 9 of 13. And now Carolina trying to activate him behind the net as it's Alex Carrier. Outstretch another long flip. This is going to work out. Fighting at the net is Suzuki. He gets all tied up, but the captaincy loses it. Carolina rushing the other way. Svechnikov off the drop. Save Dobeš. And that one goes up and out of play. And it was Svech, Jarvis, and Aho leading the rush. And now the speed's starting to open up a little bit for Carolina. Again, as I mentioned earlier, after the first was over, and it was 4-1 Montreal, you don't want to have a settle. This one at Dobeš in the dome. You don't want to have a settle where you sit back down too much and not get your chances. Again, Caufield hits the post early in this period. Robinson scores, then bar down on a one-on-one. You want Montreal to still be aggressive, and you know that the Carolina press will happen throughout the second. Logan Stankoven on the draw. He'll win it. On the backhand, Nikishin will send it toward the net. Dobeš trying to fight for his positioning in the crease as Jake Evans put this one up the ice. Picked up now for Matheson off his skate plate off the chip and chase. On the left side corner as Evans will watch this one go to the left eye. Settled down now for Marty St. Louis squad. Long outstretch near the Carolina logo. Will get chopped in by Montreal. Here's a little banana peel behind the net for Ghost, but he's safe to be able to try to find a breakout pass. He'll do so for Taylor Hall, the other 71. Hall on his backhand. He'll leave it. Stankoven, now Robinson trying to find it here. This is a little bit too far. This is kept in across the blue line and partially blocked. Settle back down now for Robinson. Off the drop to his defense. Gostisbehere pivots, now shoots up high, and Montreal hit this nicely. Curl it down the ice. 13 minutes exactly left to go in the second. Joining with you on a solo call. This is ECF Game 1. We're in the Lenovo Center. Montreal still has a 4-2 lead. Eric Robinson scored for Carolina off the one-on-one. Left post, bar down and in, top of the left bar. Settle back down and around from Dobson. Montreal can try to take this right to left. They're using the long flip to perfection here. Kirby Doc on the spin. He has a long outstretch. This will get knocked away from Bolduc and then up into the netting. So that'll blow the play dead at 12:31.
Cadillac is no guy is proud to offer a full lineup of Cadillac EVs where power meets precision. From the IQ series with best-in-class range to the Optic with Super Cruise, the three-row pistol, and Cadillac's best-selling EV Lyric. This is electric luxury redefined. And right now, lease the new 2026 Cadillac Optic Luxury for just $299 per month. Cadillac is with a luxury.
So it's Robinson from Will Carrier.
Cadillac is no guy, it's people first.
It's almost summer, and leaving blue is easy. That's because Working Greens is there to cool things down when life starts to ease up. For limited time only, we're lowering the price of our comprehensive AC check to only $59.
Former Vegas Golden Knight gets a primary assist.
Our expert technicians keep summertime easy peasy. Trusted, guaranteed. Working Greens since 1937. Call now and save on a comprehensive AC check, only $59 for limited time.
So we'll put this in the comment box for you.
And if you've never experienced farm care, this is the perfect time to discover it. Families have trusted us for generations, and we're proud to continue that tradition with care that's personal and nationally recognized. For routine care to advanced procedures, we bring state-of-the-art treatment close to home, all designed with you in mind. New delivery, expanded services, same commitment to this community. Trinity Health, we see all of you.
We'd like to send our condolences to the late Billy Davidge, a longtime member of the Columbus Blue Jackets organization, a longtime scout, and also broadcaster on the radio side. Certainly send our condolences to Billy's family with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Ohio State University, where he served as the Buckeyes captain back in 1970.
Be an ozone draw upcoming. Jordan Staal will take it defensively for Carolina. We'll have to do it one more time. I haven't got a jersey number yet for the Canadiens. Now it's Alex Texier after Dano was taken out of the circle. This is near the left dot. This will be a spin and turn now, forehand, but it will belong to the Carolina Hurricanes. Keandre Miller pushed this one up the ice as it's looped in across the glass. Stankoven takes a hit. So the left side point out the stick blade of Dobson. 12:10 left to go in the second. Robinson gets one back. Staal tried to redirect at the net, but this would be settled back down. Here's Nick Ehlers with a spin and turn. Now, this could work for a breakout, but it was too far for Texier. It'll go off his blade. Carolina going to get an ozone draw at 12 minutes. So probabilities, I don't know if this is live just for game one, but who's going to win the Eastern Conference Final? 40% do say the Montreal Canadiens. 64 and 40 doesn't add up. So I don't know how they're going to do that there, but settle back around a good old 104%, if I have my math correct. This is settled back down for Slavin. Slavin now can take this one left or right. That's what Carolina wants to do in their home blacks and the red striping. I do like these jerseys, that's for sure. Svechnikov, this will go off the left pad of Dobson. It's been good puck possession for Carolina in this second frame as they did get one back. You figured things would settle down for them, but as I mentioned, you just want to make sure Montreal keeps their pace going. Shot from Aho will catch the glove hand of Dobson at 11:19. Caden Gooley getting profiled with all of his defensive intensities, breaking up stuff for Jarvis, clean stick lift there, blocking some shots, really getting in the grill of Seth. I like that. He's got an assist, 850 of ice time, and 2 blocks for Caden Gooley, number 21. This is a defensive zone draw win. Cole Caufield takes a hit from Sean Walker, and Montreal can't get it out. Picked up now on the backhand pivot off the spin insert. This is sent toward the crease. Played in off the carom now to the right dot. High slot now Stankoven on his backhand. He's trying to do some work, but Dobson will cancel it off. And more body contact there. It's chip and chase. It's a loose puck. In the middle of the circles, Montreal tries to pick it up, but they'll just instead back skate here for Matheson near the Carolina logo. Now he's in his own end as he lets the forwards get settled there for Marty St. Louis squad. Suzuki off the tie. Good blind back pass there to get this into the neutral zone from Matheson. Carolina has numbers. Taylor Hall. See if he can cross it. That's a beautiful diving stick play, but it's loose. Hall turns around and shoots. That's been knocked away. The Montreal defense has been pretty smart here for what they wanted to do. Slafkovsky gingerly will skate to the bench. He's a little bit of a stride as it's settled back down for Anderson. We're at the halfway marker, about 5 seconds away from regulation. It's 4-2 Montreal. Picked up now. Taylor Hall. Send this one at the point. Nikishin can't hold. It's Demidov, but it's 1-on-2. Demidov now. Cross ice feed. Sent toward Anderson. He cancels it off near the left post. Carolina now. Newhook was in his grill. It's Robinson again. He's got the breakaway up a 1-on-1 essentially. Robinson now puts it around the inboards here. See if he can find old Carrier and alongside Jankowski. Carrier now being held. Jankowski the same way with Gooley. As long as the puck moves, they won't blow it dead. I'm not seeing too much movement back there from our camera shots, admittedly from TNT. Carrier loops it on front nicely there for Carolina. Chased in the corner by Newhook. He's not going to be able to get there in time. It's still busy behind Dobson. Now a stick play from Evans. It's been so good. Remember a few years ago when he took that hit alongside Mark Scheifele? And Jake Evans was a rookie at that time. He's really found his way defensively, I think, for the Montreal Canadiens as a bottom sixer. I think he plays quite well. Settled back down and off the tie-up from Doc and then sent in. 8:50 left to go in the second. John, you're working on a solo call from the Lenovo Center. It's Eastern Conference Final, Game 1. This is a stretch pass. They collected now and off the spin and turn. Picked up by Bolduc for a moment. In the high slot, Bolduc trying to get this toward the left side dot. Here's a chance. Have to shoot it quickly with Struble. Missed the net. Picked up here. Struble will spin and turn off the lead for Doc. Long outstretched pass. It connects. It's Jarvis. Oh, he got denied by Dobson with the left side of the skate as he still keeps it 4-2. Big man standing strong, the rookie in net. Shot goes wide and off the end boards, and a pass gets fanned before it hits Slavin. We'll have to back up in his own end. Shot board 22-14 Carolina. And this is hit and toward the players' bench. No penalty call. Dobson slows it down. He bumped himself near the right side as Martinook takes a hit. It did Dobson. Settle back around. Martinook. See what he'll do with it. He'll spin and turn in the left side red line on his backhand. Throw it down deep. This is canceled off. Carolina still dancing with the puck. It's Jordan Staal. Struble and Hutson have been out there for about 1:40. Can't get off the ice. Here's a backhand toward the net, and Dobson gets a stick on it. Picked up now for Martinook, and the shot goes wide. This is sustained pressure. Nick Ehlers at the net for Martinook, and that one goes just wide. Got to get off the ice. Someone doesn't have a stick for Carolina. This is sent toward the net. Great block in front of it. That denies an opportunity. No penalty call still. This is with Carolina. Slapper. Dobson makes the save. Turn around. Another block. Dobson down. And get this one down the ice, rolling in over end. And it's an ice. It is. Lane Hutson is still on the ice. 6:51. It's about 2-minute shift here for Carolina. And the crowd is waving the white towels. The white lights are flashing across the stairs. This crowd's really into it now. It was Ehlers and mixed with Martinook as they continued to triangle this thing. Staal was near the left dot. Martinook would have been wide open should they made that play. And then Seth Jarvis, he gets sticked aside. It was knocked away by partially the Montreal defense in the left pad of Dobson. 6:51. We'll have to go on the second. Stankoven. It was a long shift for Montreal. Dano can't win the draw, gives it to Chatfield. Montreal doesn't want to concede here. It would be back within one. It would certainly get Carolina back into this game. Dano trying to get it out. This is sent in deep. Taylor Hall will spin near the left side dot. Hall, he gets taken down, hit up high, but it was clean. And this is recollected now. Josh Anderson needs to get back on his back skate. This is sent toward Chatfield. Cross ice feed blocked again by Montreal. Desperation gets the puck out. And Texier, he'll chase. Will allow everyone else to change, and then a fan and a pass. That'll work out for Montreal. Sent toward the net of Anderson. The initial attempt gets deflected. Back and around now. Everybody can change from Marty St. Louis squad. That fan on the pass wasn't very good for Carolina. They had the pressure, and Montreal did not concede for about 2.5 minutes. Now to the right side, red line. They'll be spinning and turning. Chatfield trying to get it away from Suzuki, the captaincy. Back up to the point for Matheson. Matheson deflected, looking for Suzuki. Slav was at the net toward the right side of the dot. Slav will send this around the backhand. 5:25 left to go on the second as Montreal looks to reassert their dominance. Settle back down the ice. Carolina's iced the puck now. Taylor Hall looks like he was on the edge of his shift, and he's not going to be able to get off the ice. 5:19 in the middle frame.
Behind-the-scenes playoff content you won't get anywhere else. The most NHL Edge advanced stats. The Stanley Cup playoffs are better on the NHL app. Good job by Montreal. They put the script right in here if they get the money.
So the one thing, there's an immediate save, and now it's 5:14 left. Looks like we're going to take a break. So Carolina not being able to get off the ice, then we'll get the TV timeout. That's going to give them a breath.
For those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow, we will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you should pay what we pay. Now get employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
We are pillows. We are from Northern Kentucky.
We have 2 kids, 5 dogs, 6 cruisers.
And a truck. It's really important to stay connected being in the rural area.
The biggest thing with switching over to T-Mobile's 5G home internet was the
So Hutson and Gooley were on life support. They're out there about 2 minutes, 30 seconds, some blocks in the slot.
At T-Mobile, bundle 4 phone lines with 5G home internet and save up to $1,000 a year.
the value that we get with T-Mobile is excellent.
To get any jobs on runs,
Jarvis tonight on the backhand. Martinook
designed to be easier to use for everyone. You want a smart, reliable, solid
finish
your game.
in between the circles. The 5:14 TV timeout should benefit the Canes. Rod Brind'Amour said he really didn't know what we were doing in the first period. I hadn't seen that before. But again, I know it's all the time off, and Rod Brind'Amour can say the right things, and we agree. But isn't that also on him to make sure that you get these guys ready? That's the kind of thing. We've seen this story before. I marked that as the headline for the Western Conference final game when I could have easily repeated it here. And I don't want to say it this way, even though I mentioned it in the first. If Rod Brind'Amour loses again in the Eastern Conference Finals, yes, they've been a top 4 team 3 of the last 4 years, but when's enough enough? And when are you going to demand changes? Because Carolina is a dominant regular season team. They let the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies back in the day when they had Conley and Randolph. As a long shot will be held by Anderson off the tip from Demidov. But you're going to have to demand changes at some point. You have to be ready because you had the 1-15 record the last 16 times for the Eastern Conference Finals. You get to that point, but you can't break through the door, and it's just been baby-like, newborn baby-like in terms of the power effort. And again, I don't have very many muscles with the cerebral palsy, but still, it's not good enough. As it's sent the other way now, Martinook will try to chase. And against Hutson, Andrei Svechnikov now joining in on the fray. Svechnikov with Aho. Svech steals to the left side, looking backdoor for Aho, but he was still on the wrong way pivot. He settled back down now. Walker, he'll get it back in the high slot. Sebastian crisscross. Quick shot there for number 20. This is sticked away. And I'm not sure if we're going to be getting a penalty call or not at 4:34. But we do get a whistle that blows the play dead. With 22-16 on the shot board. Carolina still down 2. I think we'll be safe here in terms of a lack of a call. So no penalties to tell you about from that last sequence. They've all been from the first. One was a 4-on-4 offsetting. And then Carolina, Aho got an interference call that took that one away. Sent back in behind the inboards now. Jarvis. Here's another slap shot there. This time it was Martinook. Sent back in behind the inboards is Slavin. We'll do a lap in behind the net. Caden Gooley. And on a hold. You got Jordan Staal. Try to find this one. Suzuki alertly gets it out. Carolina can't. As this goes back to Ehlers for Staal, I thought they would have connected there. Slafkovsky off an outstretch. Montreal's starting to turn the puck over a little bit on the offensive zone as Carolina's starting to find their C legs. They didn't even have the D legs from that first period. They got worked and a lot of missed assignments. Keandre Miller was guilty of a couple of those. Off the outstretch. Here is a good finish of a hit. Near the bench is Dobson. Stops him behind the net. For Jakub Dobson, again, 20 of 22. Freddie Anderson, 12 of 16. Dobson has been very strong where he's needed to be. And throughout a loss, anytime Montreal has, they're 6-0 in the postseason, and Dobson's save percentage is close to .940. So tomorrow it'll be an 8:15 Eastern start again for Marner and McKinnon in the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, respectively. Game 2 would be a little bit earlier, 7:15. I think I'll be on the call for that on Saturday before I got some stuff to take care of on Sunday. So Saturday for sure, and then we'll try to go Monday, Tuesday, maybe Thursday next week, and then we'll see what else comes out of Wash. They touched now by Bolduc, bounced up in the air. 3:10 left to go in the second. Carolina gets one back as the play goes off sides. They still need more. They got some work to do. 3:13 left. We'll take one more TV timeout, and then we'll get set to finish off the second. It's 4-2 Montreal.
All right, you're all set.
Thanks, Seth.
Oh, check it out.
Oh, man. I think he's going to do it. This might be a good moment to share. Mom, you seen this?
Hey, baby, I'm here. Is he gonna dunk it?
No. When the connection matters, it has to be AT&T.
Bro, no charge for
The defense is better. Get home internet from AT&T. Now available across the nation.
jabbing myself for actions. I'm scared to even think about it. Instead, the drive easy on the Geico app. It's on the same traffic score, save this even more.
It feels good to take control of your car. It feels good to got that. Under the ServiceNow AI control tower, you see all AI.
I'm tracking all our AI agents, HR, IT, customer service.
So first period of this game was ridiculous. Second period's kind of slowed down. If they would have stayed the first period, this would be one of the best games I've ever seen. But it's still 4-2 Montreal. 3:13 left as we get the final TV timeout of the middle frame.
Michelin, motion for life.
Just the largest selection of Stanley Cup playoffs apparel and NHL shop. Take advantage of today's special offer on your favorite teams and brands only at NHL shop. Or visit Hutson on the Shayne here getting here looks like
Shea Gostisbehere must have got clipped in the stick with a glove because it's picked up toward the right side of his fingernail. I would say the right pinky. Looks like it's getting cut off. He's got some work to that one. It certainly hurts, bleeding all over the place. He had to have gotten just chopped and off the glove hand because there's not a lot of protection there. And I do remember a few years ago when this happened to Sidney Crosby, he ended up doing it to somebody. That really hurts. You could cut a finger off even with the glove on if you get hit with the blade handle. And it hit the right side of his pinky as he's in some severe pain. Slavin recollect now off the face-off win. Settle back down for Walker. It's loose on the middle of circles. He's been chipped off the glass expertly by Montreal and then subsequently dumped back in. Matheson gets around the body contact toward the right side board. It's one of the first clean breakouts I've seen Montreal have in a while. They've had to deal with that Carolina pressure. They've been much better in this middle frame. And at least for Montreal and their fans, they've only conceded one. That's what you have to make sure. You want to keep a multi-goal lead. Texier's chance will go off of Freddie Anderson, who hasn't had much to do in this middle frame as Lane Hutson's got it now. 2:05 thereabouts left to go in the second. John with you on the solo call from Lenovo Center. Eastern Conference Final, Game 1. Picked up now in the high slot. Taylor Hall intercepted. It's deflected toward it. Dobson made a save, and now this is still loose and behind the net. They were trying to pry that through the 5-hole. They did. Now Alex Newhook able to escape down the ice. Here's a rolling puck. It eludes number 15 of Montreal, and this will fall to Freddie off the hold. Scoring chances in this period are way lower. It's 5-1 Carolina. Let's take a look at this replay here. So Hall fires it at the net. It's rolling. Dobson didn't even know it was not even collected behind him. It's just rolling through the 5-hole. He didn't even feel the puck, and it rolled wide of the post. If it didn't do that, it would have been a goal for Carolina. Robinson was at the net. And they just try to get a quick screen there. That was Jackson Blake and alongside with Taylor Hall. So 51 and 53, 51 Robinson, 53 Blake. And we'll get that as we call more Carolina games. See a couple more in this series, probably as soon as Saturday. As Matheson. It's more of a slap pass. Slafkovsky was sent away toward the high slot. This is kept in, though. Chance for the back door does not find Suzuki. I would have beaten Freddie Anderson. 1:20 left to go, 80 seconds remaining in this middle frame. Montreal conceded one, but that's all. Eric Robinson off the top of the left bar and in after Caufield hit the post. Now to the left side red line. This is picked off near the Carolina logo and sent in. Sebastian Aho will do so. Jarvis try to finish his hit against Dobson. Aho steals. Will spin. He's in a power move toward his backhand. Go to the forehand now. Across the right side bumper. Off the lead. Got Gostisbehere with the messed up nail and all. Dobson gets the net bumped into him, and then he gets hit down below. Dobson not going to like that, as there is more pushing than shoving. I think Dobson ended up taking a shot. He's going to escape away from his goal crease at 47 seconds left. Svechnikov has Matheson down in a corner in front of the blue paint. So roughing 4-on-4 offset, Matheson and Svech. So roughing offset minors 4-on-4 between Matheson and Svechnikov. It's the third time this has happened this game, and Montreal's had the better of the 4-on-4. Again, they're used to all that. Even the 3-on-3, which is not going to happen in terms of anything with the extra points, because you always play 5-on-5 in the postseason, but they're always used to having more space and doing damage because of their supreme skill. Dobson is getting screened in the high slot. As this is be settled back down by Jake Evans. Evans, he'll pivot back behind his own end, stutter stop, and now get going. Across the left wing. Evans finds the entry. He's right up through the neutral ice, and this will be knocked away. One more rush here for Carolina should they want it. Down to 8 seconds. Crowd getting loud here. Now they got to get a shot off. Picked up here. Off the back pass. High slot. Aha, one-timer. Fought off by Dobson, and that ends the frame. Carolina gets one, but that's all. Still 4-2. Montreal with the lead. Be right back. We'll call the third. Let's give you your team stats. After dose, 25-16. Shots on goal. It was 14-13 after one. So 11-3. That's the one thing. Montreal, again, we said you want your chances. The post chance for Caufield not going to count, obviously, but just 3 shots in that period. Don't want to see them shell too much. They only give up 1. But that's the kind of stuff that can burn you. They've been able to do it through the series successfully, but I just don't think that holds forever. Hits are 30-14 Carolina. 15-9 in that frame for Carolina. Face-offs 23-19 for the Canes as well.
Livingston County Healthcare is moving forward. If you've trusted Trinity Health Livingston before, we're ready to welcome you back. Now in our brand new hospital in Brighton. And if you've never experienced our care, this is the perfect time to discover it. Families have trusted us.
Carolina also won that 12-8, so much better period for them.
And nationally recognized. From routine care to advanced procedures, we bring state-of-the-art treatment close to home, all designed with you in mind.
Power plays are still both 0 for 1.
Trinity Health, we see all of you.
Corner. First time sport. Cart takes a corner. Thrill. You see any cart right here? All it doesn't pay for it. Savings. Goes straight to you. Lots of convenient orders. That's all we need to do with shoes.
Difference is to save you money.
Get in there.
I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll call the third. I'm just going to grab the mail real quick.
Cart takes a corner. Cart right here. All it doesn't pay for it.
So a little bit of extra chores before the start of this third, but I think I'm back in time before everything is finish up a little extra chores, and I think we should be good here before the start of this third.
High blood pressure. Starting treatment with Stanley will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
So it shouldn't be too bad. Let me know what you think. It is 1 goal to the good for Carolina. That's the only one of the second. It was Eric Robinson off the top of the left post and in after Caufield hit the post on a subsequent play. But is that going to be enough? Freddie Anderson's only 12 to 16. Jakub Dobson 23 of 25. He's continued his strong play. That was a hell of a sight to be able to see everything in Carolina. He might be back as soon as game 2. Because I got some MIHL stuff to do in the off season. I know the off season kind of just got underway a couple of weeks ago, but I'm gonna start getting some of my plans together because I go from 6 to 12 teams. So I have some work to do there. But Saturday, probably join back into this for game 2, unless we go Cleveland and the Knicks. But I don't know if I really want to do that, to be honest with you. So underway now. So again, only missed about all of the post game. Not missing any of the actual play-by-play. As Aho pushes one up the gut, and Jarvis, he got set up there from Aho, but Dobson able to make a big save. That would have been an easy goal right off the start of the third period. It's 4-on-4 for 50 more seconds, as you still have Andrei Svechnikov in the box as one piece of that. Second time trailing after 2 periods, they're 1-0 in this playoffs. But again, Montreal would have been fit for competition more so than Ottawa and the Flyers, who had everybody at the walking wounded. That looked to be every bit as worse as the Florida injury sheet from when they initially lost to the Vegas Golden Knights when they got their first ever title. Because Florida was that beat up at that time, and so was the Philadelphia Flyers. Dobson will make a back pass and start this again. Going to let everybody take a change. Montreal just bleeding the time off the clock during this 4-on-4, which is very smart before they get this up the ice. Being intercepted now by Nick Ehlers. Svechnikov, he joins the fray and off the rush in the 4-on-4, and Jake Evans subsequently get the steal. Will get stolen off the windmill, but this will go back and get deflected to Freddie Anderson. I'll have to start this again from right to left. Nick Ehlers in the jerseys all black and the red striping of the Carolina Hurricanes cross-ice feed. Shot hits the netting before it hit Dobson. 18:22 left in the third. Dobson's played some strong defense in this game. Jarvis got sticked away officially on the reporter's side by Noah Dobson. Again, he's played strong defense between Noah Dobson from Montreal and Mitch Marner of Vegas. A couple of the big signings, and the 2 big ones, they're still playing playoffs. And Jakub Dobson makes a save in the crease with the left pad. Gostisbehere got denied. Sent back around the inboards now. Robinson will give a chase. He got the only goal of the second. Carolina's still down 2. It's a broken stick shot near the right side of Jakub Dobson. A long flip. They work out from Marty Sim, a lease squad. As Gostisbehere pushes ahead. Robinson is offsides.
With the Buffalo Sabres.
Giving yourself with a two-way
The seeds with one team all about for each round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. West of the Stanley Cup, only on NHL YouTube.
Buffalo Sabres, Montreal Canadiens went to overtime in Game 7 on Monday. Now it's 2-0. And the Canadiens to the Eastern Conference Final.
Face-off loss for Oliver Kapanen gets sent inboards. Picked up now by Gostisbehere off the long foot. Bolduc trying to chase. Here's a wrister that gets deflected toward the left circle. Gostisbehere trying to stick chop, but Montreal going to escape with this puck. Push it up the ice for Kirby Dach. Matheson will block the cross ice feed. And Logan Stankoven send this back around. The first appearance since Game 7 versus Tampa for Jayden Struble. It's big for him to start this in Game 1. Just need some fresh bodies, honestly, too, if you're Montreal. Because, again, you got to keep in mind, they've played an extra, 6 games? More so than anything else for Carolina. Carolina went 8-0. Montreal 8-6. That's a whole nother playoff series and 2 games in the Stanley Cup Finals if they were to sweep the whole way through. Got a lot of work to do before you can even talk about that, though, because it's 17-13 left to go in the third. Sebastian send this one back. Canadiens will play this chip and try to get it out in front of the left post of Freddie Anderson as we get the overhead view. Slafkovsky, and now back to Jayden Struble. Send this one down the ice. Freddie Anderson, long outstretch. He was looking for but he'll just find the stick of Dobson instead. Rim around the inboards now. Carolina with a partial steal, but Slaf able to chase near the left side red line. Here's a good hit. Jarvis, wrister. This one will go up toward Dobson, up and out of play at 16:39. Be an ozone draw here. Jordan Staal going to get set to take it. Shot board still 26-17. Carolina going to win it one more time. Sent toward the net wide of Dobson. Caden Gooley now in on the prowl. Jordan Martin up on the third line for Rod the Bod squad. Send this around the inboards here. Jordan Staal, get it sticked away from him. Staal will pick it up now near the left side of red line. Here's an in around feed. We're hoping to stop this overhead camera here, so I can get back and actually call the play correctly. As this will be kept in across that blue line. Martinook at 16:08 will lose it to Dobson. Dobson trying to kitty corner, throw it across, and a tripping call will be busted against Carolina. And we'll see what happens here. Martinook going to get sent to the sin bin at 16:04. This Carolina crowd has done nothing but boo all the way across the board. But really, Martinook, that's not the right call and not the right move for him to do, is take a trip in the offensive zone. You always hate those. Scored a power play goal in 5 consecutive games. Canadiens 7 of 19. If they don't score, they'd be 0 for 2. But there really has only been and one extra penalty, and all of it's been offsetting 4-on-4 for the most part. It's been even strength of 4-on-4, and that's where Montreal has played well. Suzuki find the entry to the left side blue line. Off the drop for Hutson, doesn't hit. 0 for 1 is Montreal. Carolina 0 for 1 as well. Carolina's got their second opportunity here. So we touch the stick shaft of Lane Hutson. Start again for Nick Suzuki. Suzuki now slowly will drop it across the Carolina logo. Carolina culture or sound the siren. At this point, Slafkovsky shot up in the air. Good save, Freddie Anderson, as this will be knocked away off the lift. Carolina tries to pick it up now. Jacob Slavin will look for a breakout pass. This will work to be able to kill some time and alongside for Seth Jarvis and then send it back down to the point. It will take away time from Montreal's second power play. Andrei Miller hadn't called his name much, not even in a positive light, as Miller's outstretch will be a full sail clear. Dobson will watch it go to the left side red line and picked up now behind the net. Montreal looking to get things going. 30 seconds left to go in this man advantage. 14:30 left to go in the thirds thereabouts. Sending behind the end boards here. As will be recollected across the right side bumper dock. And part of that second power play unit. We get Russ down the ice by the captaincy and Jordan Staal. Cross ice feed. That'll roll in the corner and out. Carolina offsides, they couldn't touch anyway. And now Montreal moving around the inboards here. Their power play going to expire. Zach Bolduc will watch this go to the point. So Carolina at least did their job there. And Martin looked back out of the box from the tripping call. This is taken away. And alongside for Carrier. And sent back in behind the inboards. Here's Ghost. He's got the puck for Carolina. One shot on the power play for both of those chances for Montreal. So nothing to do with the man advantage. 4-on-4, they've been stellar. Lane Hutson still out there now alongside with Caden Gooley. This goes wide to Jake Evans. Gostisbehere wide open near the left dot. Makes a backhand pivot and a lead. Here's a drive toward the net now. And then wide. Dobson fights it off near the left post. New hook, too far for him. Evans will at least get it into the corner. Dobson stopping him behind his net. No lead for the defensive tandem. Caden Gooley. Forwards will take a change for Marty St. Louis squad. John, I'm your play-by-play man. Eastern Conference Finals Game 1, watching this on TNT. Don't have the luxury of Sportsnet feed on either side. Here's Montreal. Toe drag. Oh my God! What a goal! Are you serious? The Canadiens, Juraj Slafkovsky, how do you do? It's a toe drag in between his legs and then a lift. And I believe I said, oh my God, during the play-by-play. I don't think I've ever done that there the 4 years. As it was Gooley with an outstretch, a couple of one-touches, Slafkovsky. Toe drags around the defense and then lift past Svechnikov. Absolutely disgusting for Juraj Slafkovsky. And the Slovakian man makes it 5-2 with one of the nastiest moves you will ever see. He kicks it back to his left skate and then roofs it on the forehand, and it's 5-2 Montreal. And that should be all said and done. We got 12:40 left to go in the third, but that was gorgeous from Slaf. And Montreal has played so well in this game. Really have done nothing wrong. And Carolina, we could be honest with ourselves right now, has been burned at least 3 times on defense. Slafkovsky, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points in 15 games. And keep in mind, what is he, still only 21? He's already been in a couple of Olympics. He's played Heroes at the time. He's been a top pick. Remember when Montreal was much maligned with him for a couple of years? Saying, why isn't he getting going already? He'd say the same thing with Jason Robertson. I say, give these guys time. Let them go to work. Montreal very happy with Slafkovsky. That was a gross move. And first even strength goal this postseason. He has been the short-handed power play merchant. Slaf takes a hit. Not cold. As this rolls back down the ice to Freddie Anderson. Kind of feel like he's still looking for his jock strap after that move. 12:10 left to go in the third. Shot board 26-20, but Montreal got 5 goals. Ehlers. There's a one-timer in the slot that goes woefully wide from the left side boards. Martinook now back out there on his backhand. We'll try to shovel it through the goal crease, but nobody home. Not sure what he was looking for there. As this is knocked away. Sean Walker keep this alive. This is pinball. Martinook, 11:45 left to go in the third. There's a rolling puck. Settle back down for Andrei Miller. Then alive off the backboards. And Hutson now. recollect across the right side wall. Hutson still working with it. He'll spin in his own end. Forwards take a change. It's Caufield and Gooley. Excellent work off of about 5 one-touches before it hits Slafkovsky as the feed gets bubbled a little bit on TNT. Another outstretch as this is settled back down by Freddie Anderson. Back around the corner, a little bit wide for Gostisbehere, and the one-on-one. Settle back down for Caden Gooley. Gooley outstretch. Will roll back down the ice to where Carolina just was. Trying to get this going the other way. It's been all Montreal for most of this game as Brind'Amour will get some time. It looked like he lost an edge. You couldn't skate all that quickly. Doesn't have a ton of speed as Eric Robinson sends it in. You don't want to see the same things happen to Carolina as it did against Florida when you're playing Montreal. But they would be 4-0 in this season series, including playoffs, should they win it. They won the first 3 games in the regular season, and they're in a really good standing here in game 1 on the road. Montreal likes playing on the road. That's where they would be even if they advance, either against Colorado or Vegas. Maybe not Vegas, honestly. I'd have to look at the point totals, as this will be settled back down. Texier will get this one across. And around the end boards now. Here for Bolduc as it gets knocked up in the air. Rolling puck, settled back down by Slavin. And we got 10 minutes left to go in the third. Dobish gloves it down. Lucky to get a whistle there because that could have been dangerous out in front of the net. Should get a TV timeout as well. 5-2 Montreal. That's an amazing stuff for Slafkovsky. Can't do that much better.
We are the Delos. We are from Northern Kentucky.
We have 2 kids, 5 dogs, 6 horses.
And a truck. It's really important to stay connected, being in the rural area.
The biggest thing with switching over to T-Mobile 5G.
That's the thing I said in this series, though, about Montreal. They got so much skill, more so than Carolina has. Carolina's a good team. They got some great players, but the game-breaking skill that Montreal has, that is the thing that really just never surprises you. They're just really good. You got 4-on-4 advantage. I think 4-on-4, they would have an advantage over anybody, even Colorado. I would say that. So Slafkovsky, Caufield, and Caden Gooley. So Gooley got another point. Philip Danault against Staal. 2 guys that are very good in the circle. Staal will win it as this is recollected across ice and then blocked behind the net. So there's been a lot of traffic there for Carolina to connect in the middle of the slot on passes, especially in the crease, right in front of Dobish. But Montreal's done just enough to lift sticks, kind of push things out of the way. Dobish hasn't had to really Billy Smith anybody today. 6-0 following a loss. Again, I had that in there as far as Montreal in the postseason, but they're not going to start that series here at this point. Slaf gets around ahead nicely. Good set of hands. Pick it up now. Here the left side red line. Again, he's just so much fun to watch. We're able to see him through the Olympics now. And covering Montreal a few times, this is honestly becoming one of my favorite teams to watch in the postseason. Jordan Martinook slowly in behind the inboards. Only got 9 minutes until this game is over. Not going to have to worry about any sort of extra time. Slaf makes another man miss. Send it down nicely toward the left side of Montreal, starting to bleed time away from the clock here. So they've got their lead. I know they didn't get a lot of shots in that second frame, but they've been able to play with speed and not kind of sit as much as they did in that game 7 when they had a 2-0 lead against Buffalo. But they took out Tampa and Buffalo, so what's Carolina to them? I don't think it means all that much. That's why I really picked Montreal to win game 1. Yes, I'm expecting a bounce back in game 2. I would say the same thing with the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. But Montreal, I had my hand raised in picking them to win this series. And even if the Canes advance, I wouldn't even pick them to lift the cup. So I just don't see them as the better team left of the 4. I'd probably pick them 4th, to be honest with you. Outstretch here. Send him behind the inboards in for Oliver Kapanen, who overskated it. Now Stankoven. This will be canceled off. Good hit for Montreal, but it's going to be a boarding penalty. 7:54. So Carolina going to get another power play opportunity out of this. Caden Gooley going to get busted for a board. You got a piece of Jackson Blake. 7:54. We'll take a break.
With all the exterior wood scenes out there, it can be hard to choose. Or not.
So if there are any Montreal fans in the stream, they only had the one vote. It said none, Carolina sweeps again. That's not going to happen. But if there are any Montreal fans that bounce in the stream or listen late or anything on Hopeful Sports Guy, are you surprised by anything that you saw today? I don't think you should be. Again, I profiled it in between a game against Tampa, a couple games against Buffalo. I've seen Montreal, I think, win every game that I've covered and alongside with them. And I just love the pace that they play with, the skill that they have. And I'll ask you this again. Colorado, Vegas, Montreal, Carolina. That's your final 4. 2 in the West, 2 in the East. 1 being the strongest team and 4 being the weakest team. Where do you rate Montreal? Where do you rate Carolina? I have a hard time believing that Montreal wouldn't at least be 3 out of 4. Definitely not going to be the worst team. And Carolina, even though they've swept their way through the first 2 rounds of the Ottawa Senators and Philadelphia Flyers, you can say who they've played. And you're looking at this right now. Yes, you had 12 days off. It's a little bit of rust. But they need to play much, much better. And I would even say from the other day when I mentioned it for the Avalanche that they could play better against Vegas, and I expect them to. Man, if Colorado played like this, or Carolina played like this in comparison to Vegas or Colorado, they'd probably lose by another 5 goals. They just didn't play well. .740 left to go, officially in the third for the quarter. Carolina got another power play. They didn't have a shot on their first one. This is just their second opportunity. Nick Ehlers now for Aho. Left side corner, Matheson will get the steal. Bring him behind the inboards and get it out. And across the Lenovo Center logo of the Canes. Carolina culture, now sound the siren. That's what they've been using, bouncing back and forth. Or hashtag Canes. They need 3 goals to tie. And they don't really have a lot of time to do so. They get a power play. Can't hold it in. Slavin, at least I thought not. They'll get a last piece of it. It's Ehlers to the left side dot. Gostisbehere, fresh off his change. It's Nick Ehlers. He can walk in and shoot. Ripper gets deflected. 1:05 left to go in the second power play. Ehlers will hold. Now Seth Jarvis take his time with a sharp angle chance. wide of Dobson, and that will go out. 55 seconds left to go on the middleman advantage here for Carolina. Dobson right off the glass, and this is out off the blade of Gostisbehere. 6:43 left to go in the final frame.
Well, tomorrow's game 2 in Colorado is the Golden Knights at halftime put it on ESPN at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Saturday we'll be right back here in Carolina for game 2 at halftime games. 7 o'clock right here on TNT and HBO Max for pre-game show to follow. As we said earlier, great to see the studio crew, one and all, in front of the camera, the Omni camera on set.
Face-off defensively won by the Canadiens, and they can clear it down as they're right on the penalty kill. Start again now for Andre Miller. He's had his name called for all the wrong reasons early, and now it's turned over by Andre. And Philip Danault will at least kill some more time. Andre got it now off the back pass. Carolina not even able to get organized on either one of these power plays. Both teams haven't done much on there. This will be stick shot, not out. It's cross ice. Ehlers probably got to shoot this puck. He does not. Puts it toward the left post and stick this side by Dobson and curled into the corner. Carolina's power play going to go all for naught. They're 0 for 2, just like the Canadiens. Fired back down the ice. 5:50 left to go in the game, and Carolina down 5-2. They did not expect this. You could say the same thing for the Colorado Avalanche in Game 1. Vegas, I think, is a stronger team, and Montreal is a more skilled team. Double team hit him behind the net. Hopefully pop back up there. Montreal looks to be okay. Slafkovsky, after that wonderful move, will send this one in. Stankoven, he gets knocked off the puck. Slafkovsky, it's loose out in front of Anderson, and settled down for the captaincy and Staal. 3-on-3. Martinook, this is into the trapper of Dobson. Full hold at 5:17. We're getting close to a TV timeout. I think we're going to take it. As Nick Ehlers, in a little bit of distress, he'll finish his hit and alongside. Lane Hutson got a double team tattoo behind the net, trying to tenderize. We'll take a break.
So as climate evolves, as wildfires become more concerned, the ability to maintain the product, high moisture, high UV radiation, we're constantly working to be able to stay ahead of those needs, even before they know they have them.
Running your first 5K. Hunt. This first day behind the wheel. Well-being. Choosing a name for your first. Not easy. Progressive understands first times can be challenging. It's why we created the Update program. Down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
NBA scoreboard, that one is going to end. The Knicks are going to take a 2-0 series lead. They won both those games on their home floor at MSG. So that game will end a couple minutes, at least before ours. We got 5:17 left in the third. So we'll get out of here before 11 Eastern. Not too bad.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Trusted by pros for more than 140 years, Cabot is the right choice to complete your masterpiece. Discover the second pair to the score was 4-2. Seth Jarvis had this opportunity and
Really like Dobson's game more and more as I continue to watch Montreal. Just getting that experience. Freddie Anderson, 5 goals allowed on 21 shots faced. And it looks like Brind'Amour is going to pull the netminder here inside this 5:13 net time marker, 5:17. Again, ESPN's a little bit farther ahead of me. Just to try to go all for nothing here, as it's an empty net. So 5-2 Montreal with the lead, and Carolina goes for the extra attacker well inside 5 minutes. Here's Jarvis back in behind the inboards. Carolina's got to find a way to at least get one here in this next minute and give themselves enough time, as this will be rolling. Sebastian Aho holds it in, bounces off to Montreal bodies Jake Evans. Aho plays it in between his skates. Walker, now Aho at the net. As this will be deflected, Walker will get it back. Here's a one-timer. Playing off the lively backboards, misses the net, and Slafkovsky clear this one down the ice. And at least through neutral, cleared up by the Carolina defense. 4:35 left to go in the third. Extra attacker out there for Carolina. They're down 5-2. Find the entry now, and this is rolling in overhand. That should be icing against Montreal at 4:24. So at 5:17, we're at 4:09 now, but at 5:17 I can mark it in the notes. D-zone draw loss for Montreal. Picked up now by Slavin. On the right side corner, Jacob will get it back, send it down deep. Slavin still waiting in the high slot here. Rister goes wide of Dobish. Be knocked to the left side boards. 4 minutes left to go in the third. Extra attacker's been out for 1:17. Dobish makes a save at the net. Good work there to funnel it, but Montreal was there. Back support. One-timer. Here for Seth Jarvis, missed the net. Slavin now waiting on the right side corner. Stankoven got his stick up in the air, calling for the pass. Picked up now by Slavin. Back to Logan. Stankoven, Rister for the traffic. He's got 7 goals in 8 games. It will be 9 when this is done. No points tonight for him. Carolina just 2 goals. This is Nikishin off the lead. That one is wide and down the ice. So no icing. That was off of Carolina last touch. And Jacob Slavin got some work to do behind his own net. Here's Jalen Sheffield now. Try to race up the gut quickly. Carolina running out of time. They need 3 goals in 3 minutes. Settle back down to the left side red line. Here is Evans off the tie-up. Martinook trying to pry it loose. He took a tripping penalty earlier, but both teams went 0 for 2 on the power play, the 4-on-4. Definitely a couple of those, whereas definite advantage for Montreal. 2:50 left to go in the third. No icing as it goes back down. Gostisbehere still with it. And across the left side red line, just gains it, sends it in. Matheson now. Back around for Lane Hutson. They got the double team hit put against him from Ehlers. Slap shot blocked. Montreal fights it. Suzuki, excellent work. Get this one up the ice. Slafkovsky dangles and scores on the empty net. 6-2. Back-to-back goals for Juraj. And Montreal in a rout takes game 1 on the road. With 2:28 left to go in the third. They're up 6-2. Slafkovsky from Suzuki on the empty net. It's looking like his Olympic self as this continues to go along for Slav. That is good news for the Canadiens. Six, 2. 9 consecutive games lost on home ice in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And it just continues to be the pain train. Nikishin will send this one on. Dobish is going to win another game here. One-timer, this one hums and hits the glass. Shot board 25-22. So Montreal not allowing Carolina to get a ton of shots. Usually gets shot suppression. Hasn't been a lot of that. Here is a drop pass. And off the spin and turn for Taylor Hall. Lots of empty red seats here. This will be settled back down right across the goal mouth. Gostisbehere in between his blades. Out to Taylor Hall. Gostisbehere, 1 touch. Taylor on the left side dot. 1:20 left to go in the game, sent toward Dobson off Gostisbehere and then saved. Oliver Kapanen. Settle this around the inboards here. Again, we mentioned this in the pregame between Colorado and Vegas yesterday. 30 of the 32 of the ESPN panel had taken the Avalanche. Now 30 of the 32 have taken Carolina Hurricanes, much in that same vein. The 2 Canadiens ones were in 7. I would be one of the dissenters. 50 seconds left to go in the third. Freddie Anderson gives up 5. He got shelled today. Jakub Dobson was excellent, as he's been. And again, if Montreal does lose in Game 2, they're 6-0 following a loss. Who will win the Western Conference Finals? That's updated from Game 1. Now it's still 52-48 in the percentages for Colorado. And that one could go away big time if Vegas takes both on the road. And behind the inboards now, this is centering out in front, bounces in front of Eric Robinson. And Gooley will watch this one go down the ice. Chipped in one more time. And that's going to do it. It is Noah Dobson, and behind his crease. And Montreal dominates Game 1. Carolina gets punched in the mouth in the Eastern Conference Finals once again to start. Lose 6-2 on home ice. They have certainly needed to rebound here. They'll get Game 2 on Saturday. 7th road win this postseason ties Carey Price for most in franchise history. Had a lot more games to do so, but Dobson certainly going to pass that. I don't see another way Carolina doesn't. They're going to have to win a game, but I'm going to say it the right way if I can not tongue-tie myself. I don't see another way Carolina or Montreal doesn't win another couple of these games. They're at least going to win a couple more, and they're on the front foot. I picked them to win this series. I definitely picked them to win Game 1. I didn't expect a 4-goal result. Hell, I didn't expect the major line result that we got yesterday in between Vegas and Colorado. But Slafkovsky, he was awesome in the third, and Montreal was great throughout. They win 6-2. See you again on Saturday when we call some more in Game 2. Montreal wins 6-2. We'll see what Carolina can answer with in a couple of nights. Peace. Talk to you guys on Saturday. Montreal wins big. Peace.